This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO of Power Nickel, Mr. Terry Lynch. Terry, the last time that you and I spoke publicly, you mentioned to me that you were really excited about the results that you were seeing, and you just had an announcement here this week that really validates and speaks to the potential here. You just made a discovery. You ended up drilling it's like almost an ounce or just an ounce per ton combined platinum and palladium over 7.75 meters. Congratulations. This is 5 kilometers northeast of the main deposit. Provide the context for me.
Yeah, it was an amazing hole, Gerardo. I mean, you wait all your life for a hole like that, ready? I remember when I got the assays in, I thought, must be an error. And I sent it back to the guys and I said, well, we got to re-assay this because this looks crazy. And they said, well, we already did. So it was like, boy, was I ever happy to receive that tech. So, it was, obviously just a tremendous hole. And the context is twofold, really. Obviously, that's like $1,600 rock or whatever, platinum and palladium is trading for now, which is an enormous kicker for any sort of economics on a project. But, one of the things you'll find in the really big nickel plays like Boise's Bays and Norilsk and stuff like that is they have these massive kickers. And that's, what made those projects so big and so pervasive. And when you start to see systems kick out stuff like this, especially 5 kilometers away, it gives you like some, wow, this could be really big. And so that there's two things to take away as an investor. One is, wow, that's a really powerful rock. And they may have 1 million ounces of PGMs as well. This could be super exciting just as a PGM play, but it's part of the nickel. So maybe there's a much bigger complex there. The fact that you're 5 kilometers away from our current, core Nisk main is super inspiring to say, hey, what's in between there? And we know because we got the preliminary stuff back from our airborne EM. We'll be releasing the full airborne EM in a couple of weeks, I think. And that stuff lit up, So it's exciting to think of what can be, so obviously what is obviously a hot hole, tremendous, but one hole doesn't make a mine, as you know, but it's obviously a great indication of what's there and shows that the system is charged even 5 kilometers out. And the fact that it's on the bank, of cusp of other great holes that we've had on the nickel side suggests the system's really comprehensive and quite robust, which is what we've been saying from the outset. This is what we noticed and what we believe in. So, company couldn't be happier with results. I mean, in ordinary days, back in the day, you put a result like that and the stock would have gone up 5 times, but we barely moved 10%. But, that's the other challenge in life these days.
You mentioned that one hole does not make a mine. And obviously we're talking about, the discovery hole here 5 kilometers away, but you're pretty darn confident.
Yep.
I know privately that you do have a mine on your hands as it relates to the main deposit. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So we feel like, obviously we've been releasing assays since we've been drilling in September, and they've been pretty robust. I mean, 40 meters of 1.6%, 10 meters of almost 3%, 16 meters of 1.5%. So hits keep on coming, and so we got more of those coming. We know that from our main body, and so we've been giving guidance to say that we think that we're basically going to go up to 8 to 10 million tons of about 1.5% nickel. Anything over 50,000 tons of contained nickel today would become a mine. This will be over 100, and that's just the start in our view. So we have no doubt this will be a mine in our mind, and we're starting to see industries coming to the table, man. And like I say, we're dealing with several NDAs now with majors, and they're excited about this, and because we post all of our drill collars and ASNA, so people can model this themselves. We even put our own leapfrog up there so people can get comfortable with that. Hey, we're not joking about this. This is going to be real. And the big thing, when a mine goes from exploration to commercial, as you know, because you're an expert in this space, the valuations change. You go from being a 0 to being a 1. So the group that we look at as our peers, and they're all down by about half because the nickel hasn't really caught a rocket yet. Are being 140 to 480 million US. We financed just recently at 25 million US. Today maybe we're 30. So it's still a tremendous bargain, and it's a great time for people to be looking, I think.
No, look, I think you're onto something pretty significant here. I know majors like to go shopping. I won't say at a bottom because they typically are slow to the table, but the fact that they're at the table right now with several NDAs, I think speaks to the quality of the deposit you have. And look, this new discovery could be the cherry on top and a real kicker. Anything to add to that, Terry?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is that, the news flow is going to be heavy here for the next 2 months. We've got a couple more assays to come. So they're in the pipe because we sort of know when they're going to be coming out. And we expect those to be more continuation of the story, more, proof that we're moving towards that 8 to 10 million tons. And then we've got the airborne EM, which is exciting because basically nickel, our nickel is carried in a massive sulfide, so it's highly magnetic. So airborne EM is a great technique to pick it up. Now, it only works to sort of 100, 150 meters. That's where it works best. Like beneath that, it's not as effective. But we've already seen the preliminary stuff. We see, the Christmas tree starting to light up, and so there's a lot of potentially interesting pods. The other thing we're doing is we talked the last time about the ambient noise tomography, the sound mapping that we'll be doing to identify these pods, which is basically, we'll obviously put them over our core deposit, get the signature from that in terms of what, sound map correlates to the, let's say, that 40-meter hole with 1.6% nickel. So we're looking for signatures like that throughout the ultramafic sequence, which is now about 5.5 to 6 kilometers long. And then we'll sort of see, where that is, especially with the airborne. You start to get concentric circles of, hey, there's a hit here on the airborne, and there's a hit here on the sound map. Maybe be a hell of a good place to drill. So that's what technology can do for you. Allow you to drill more, cost effectively, smarter, and find your resource quicker. So that's we're funded now to get drilling probably again in mid-July. So the next, sort of 2 months is really to design the program, make sure we've identified the highest, most prospective spots, and then get to it. And then obviously, hopefully at some point, get this 43-101 out in early July. And sometime between now and then, the market's going to wake up and say, hey, these guys are going to be a nickel mine, and maybe we better explore this power nickel investment.
Should be a fun rest of the year. Great work, Terry. Congrats on the new discovery. Looking forward to the many catalysts for Power Nickel.
Thanks, Gerardo. Great to have. Thanks for having us on. We really appreciate it.
All right, chat soon.
You bet.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.